What you are about to watch is unboxing of Cthulhu That May Die, second Kickstarter named Fear of the Unknown, and we will take a look at the core game, we could say retail version of the game, and also the Kickstarter exclusive Unknowable Box, which was, well, box full of stretch goal goodies exclusive for Kickstarter. Or, in other words, we will take a look what's, inside the Unknowable Pledge for $100 on Kickstarter. The video has two parts. First the core set, then the Kickstarter stretch goals. You can, if you want, watch them as two separate videos. They were released before. I will put link in the description. Or if you want, in this video on one go. So both the base game, basically the retail version you can now get from the shop, and then the exclusive box, which is Kickstarter exclusive. So probably only way how to get it in the future is in the other Kickstarter or now backer kit, or how Cool Mini or not doing them Cthulhu expansions, or from the scalpers on the eBay. So let's take a look if it's worth the money. Let's start.
Hello guys, welcome back to Potan's War, and after years of waiting, Cthulhu That May Die, another wave, is, it's there and it's even in my hands, which is the best part. To be honest, That May Die first edition was, and still is, in my opinion, the best game or board game from Cool Mini or not. It's, fast-paced, it's easy to learn, it's easy, to introduce to other players. I think really that the first edition of That May Die is probably really one of the best Cool Mini or not games out there. Well, that is period. Oh. For whatever reason, there is even extra backside. Not really sure why. Whatever. So let's take a look what's inside. This is, we could say, sort of retail box, which will be, available for, regular buy. And this is, the Unknowable Box, like in the first edition. This will be, Kickstarter exclusive stretch goals. We will take a look at it also, but let's start with, the retail version box. It's pretty heavy. So we have some free content QR code, rulebook. To be honest, I'm not sure if it's same like the first edition or if there are some, additional rules or some sort of, changes. But on the first side, it looks pretty same. So here we have the same character sheets like in the first edition. They seem, on the first side, from sort of, cheaper paper, more lightweight. Some end of the turn stuff for unknown monster. There's probably some sort of new mechanic, sort of extra to regular base game, which this is, I think, the Fear of the Unknown is a standalone game, so you don't need the first edition Cthulhu War, or no Cthulhu War, Cthulhu That May Die. That's a different game. The Elder One's episode of monsters and Elder One minions, the Doom track, it's the same like in the first edition, so all new stuff is just here. So we have, like before, we have these, board tiles for, playing. They look basically like the same in the first edition, or the first season, I should say, because this is extra season. This is not, re-release of the edition. Same tokens. Look like, pretty same. That's nice. Yeah, cards. Unknown monsters. This is the new mechanics. But to be honest, these are the attacks, their lives, some pool, which is sort of extra. But they look like, guys from the first edition. So, let's take a look at the miniatures, don't we? So, let's take a look at these, large monsters. Because they were, always pretty great in Cthulhu. And, well, this is no different from the previous edition or the first season. It's just beautiful. I have nothing more to say. The details are beautiful, the design is beautiful, it's just pure beauty. I think they are more, horrific than the stuff in the first season. More unhinged and really, the elder horrors. And they look really, really pretty. This is some pretty disturbing shit, to be honest. And I love it. Nice. So now we have a couple of investigators. It's 10 of them. Again, more will be in the Unspeakable box. We have this troopish Chinese Kung Fu master here. Again, lots of women here. So it's like 50-50. It's nice. Like in the first season, you can use most of them for other, RPGs or some pulp wargaming. Oh, this is really pretty. Sort of Mary Poppins with Thompson submachine gun lights. And they are cultists. In the first season, you have just 2 sculpts. Now we have 3. That's great. Because you have more, options. How to fill them, and it will look way better. And in this season, they all look like females. That's great, because if you, combine them together with the first edition, you get pretty large cult of, women and men, and that's cool. Again, it's usable for some sort of pulp scenarios, for war games, scrimmage war games, for RPGs. Great stuff. Now they have even something on the pages of the grimoires. That's nice. That will be better for painting. In the first season, they were just, blank pages. Yeah, again, dices, counters for character shields, stuff like in the first season, and some more monsters. Again, I think they are better designed in the first season, more horrific, and I really like them. And some, lizard people. Again, pretty cool designs. But if something, cool mini or not, was always great when it comes to, miniatures. So 6 episodes and 2 Elder Gods, or I hope this is Elder Gods and not just, these big unknown monsters. As I said earlier, I didn't really read the rules yet. Even I think they were available on the Kickstarter as PDF. Oh, come to puppy. Everything you see, it's, sculpted with edges, sharp details. And it's great. it's really, the horrors from outer space. Really, you can, comprehend with your human mind. It's sick looking, and I love it. And there are some smaller minions. Again, really tough details. Interesting. Oh, shite. I'm not really sure how to put it back. This way? Yeah, probably. Yeah, okay. There is even, some sort of sync for tokens when once they are, punch out. Really nice looking. So this was the first other one. And let's take a look at the second one. Like in the season 1, you have 2 elder gods in a base game. Oh, this huge bat looks awesome. Whoa, it's so chubby and cute. And the knees are ice. That's cool. Wow. Again, lots of details, sharp edges. It will be, nice to... It will be a pleasure to paint. Some weird stuff going on. To be honest, I'm really looking forward to, put paint on it and play with it. Again, it's really super cool looking. But as I said earlier, Cool Mini or Not knows how to make miniatures. And with Cthulhu Dead May Die, they even know how to, make nice, entertaining games. And now we have the episodes. So what have you here? This looks like they are without special miniatures. That's probably reserved for the Unspeakable box. And just sort of extra tokens and stuff like that. So that was Cthulhu, Dead May Die, Fear of the Unknown. You could say new addition to the Cthulhu. I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do with it. Okay, to the Cthulhu Dead May Die family from Cool Mini or Not, because we have the first season with its own Unspeakable box of Kickstarter goodies. Then we go the smaller second edition, and now this is not really third edition, but sort of standalone game on the same engine. So if the gameplay is the same, I'm damn sure that it will be a great game, and looking forward for it. So this was the regular, we could say, retail box, and this is the Unspeakable box of Kickstarter exclusive stuff. So Unknowable Box. So there will be probably something like 40 investigators, because that was the case with the first season. Some lore for the episodes and extra skills. Okay, nice. So we have character sheets, and as I said earlier, something like 30 investigators. It was probably right. Some discovery cards, some monster cards. I see what's happening. No, there are, boxes for episodes. Not sure why it's, then just sort of put here, not in the boxes, but whatever. So we have 4 extra episodes. In the first season, extra episodes for Kickstarter has with their own, monsters. So probably it's case there because they're huge. 1 Elder God and 2 investigators. So let's start with the Elder God, Nook and Yep, which is sort of funny name if you speak Slavic languages. But what have we here? Again, some. But to be honest, just these, random piece of papers, put it in the boxes. It's sort of let down, to be honest, because it's not the production value I'm used for Cool Mini or not. Again, just, paper which is... Come on, Cool Mini or not, come on. I know it's sort of free box for the Kickstarter backers, but it should have some sort of production value even if it's free. And we all now know that right now on the eBay they are being sold for something like $200, so come on. Oh. Again, pretty cool monster design. Like with, the original Fear of the Unknown. As I said in the previous unboxing, I think the monsters are, more unhinged. And really more like, outer space terror looking. Not just, the large monster, but really terrific large monsters. But to be honest, I'm sort of pissed on Cool Mini or not that they are just, putting there some random sheets. And there are actual rules on this. Not really happy with it, to be honest, but... Originally, it intended as free edition for the Kickstarter backers, so I understand that it could be sort of cheaper than the retail box, but to me this is looking way too cheaper. Okay. Yeah. Thanks. And its tape is everywhere. So we have some extra monsters, lots of extra monsters. Way more than was in the first season. Again, to be honest, the Chinese kit sort of fucked up the glowing, but this lizard looks pretty awesome. With the serpent people from the Unknowable Box, they are opening lots of possibilities for, running some sort of skirmish wargame with the, Lizardman cult. Wow, that's cute. But again, as you can see, the Chinese kid sort of was lazy at when we're gluing it together. I have no idea what I'm looking at. Some sort of bug creature. But again, interesting design. And that's your average neighbor who make mess at 4 hours at the morning. Interesting cavemen like orcs, ogres, but that's sort of unorthodox monster, to be honest. Nice. Jesus. Guys, you were never out of the box and still you are. So, some sort of zombies, 3 hands, arms. That's cool. Would you do some cool forest creature? So cute. And another cute forest creature with tentacles from its mouth, but it's still sort of cute. And a couple of investigators. Interesting designs. But that was always the case with investigators. And this is again glued. So we have some sort of hunter, Queen Victoria look-alike, some Indian guy, mafioso. I think this looks like sort of police officer, but woman. Not really historically accurate. After it's pulp game. Some sort of cowboy. Cool cowboy, to be honest. With pump shotgun. Nice. Couple more investigators. And we have even some Japanese guy with katana. And more of the investigators. Lots and lots of them. Oh, this sailor is super epic, to be honest. Mauser T96 is interesting choice for weapon, but I like the cutlass, which is not really cutlass, but nice idea. Another cowboy-like guy. Not sure why are they. And I think this is Blade Runner reference. Nice. The investigators will always, sort of pop culture. It was like that, or doesn't probably matter. Yeah. Again, I'm sort of let down that these are just, these tokens or cards that will be just there. Okay, it doesn't really want to fit inside. So let's take a look at the, the missions. So again, there is extra monsters. Now it doesn't even open, so you could with the tokens on the top, so you can put it out some sort of nicely. It's just there. Again, some pretty sick designs. To be honest, I really love the designs of the new monsters. I'm not sure if it's just me, but to me it seems like the production value is really way cheaper than in the first season. Maybe I'm just getting old and bitter, but well, it feels like it. I have no idea what I'm looking at, but it looks super cool. Wow! That's cool. And that's some sort of That's color of out of space monster. Ah. Cool. That's pretty cool. Not sure how easy it will be to paint it. Probably not really. But it looks cool. And I see every of these little monster is different forest creature mutated. Again, that's pretty cool. So, color out of space, that means that we have some sort of, classic Lovecraftian story as mission. And not just the sort of, new invented missions. Kizzy Manson and Brown Jenkins, I think this is Lovecraft short story. So this is probably short stories inspired missions. And I have some, issues with the packaging of this, Kickstarter extra box. But to be honest, the details on the miniatures and stuff like that is still pretty great. Hypnos. So even there is a new monster card. Nice. So, this was everything from the new 4 episodes. As you can see, I have some sort of, issues to get it back inside the boxes. It will be probably easy when the tokens will be, punched out. But we would be there another hour if I will be doing it. So, that's it. So this was my unboxing of the Unknowable Box, which is Kickstarter exclusive box of extra investigators, missions, and some monsters for the Cthulhu That May Die Fear of the Unknown, which is the latest addition to the Cthulhu That May Die board games family. In my opinion, the inside of the box looks little worse than the original Fear of the Unknown. To be honest, you can even see it on the, box itself, because you see, this is 3D relief logo with, shine applied and stuff like that. I think you can even, see it on the camera. And now you see that there is nothing like that on the, Unknowable Box. Again, I understand it's free on Kickstarter, but ironically it will be, to be honest, it will have something like 2 or 3 times more value than the original retail box on the eBay, probably even right now. Because scalpers love cool mini or not games. But again, it looks pretty nice. If it's free with your Kickstarter order, I say nothing to argue about. If you, would be about to go for eBay and buy it for something like $200, $300, I don't think it's, worth it at the first sight. So, that was it. That was my unboxings of, Unknowable Box and, Fear of the Unknown as previous video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want more, board games and wargaming unboxings, reviews and stuff like that, don't forget, to subscribe my channel. I have lots of more coming and lots of more in, history. So if you need something to watch, well, why not Poton's War? So hopefully you guys do enjoy it. If you do, don't forget to like, pass me something in the comment, and, well, hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.